Thank you for your time to our government team. We're from Diploma Nursing Anestesiology, Class B. We will introduce ourselves. My name is Irfan Saputra Musa. Beside me, at left side, she's Virginia Leona Peter de Jesus, and the right side is Miranda Ponongoa. Okay, I think that's enough for the self-introduction. So let's talk about the single-sex school are good for education. So before we talk about the single school are good for education, so I will use my opinion, what I know about the single school sex are good for education. Single sex school are good for education is a good rule. Why? Because of the present, this rule can make a rope foundation to connect mentally physiology for children who are cannot interact with opponent, kind and hard to switch their writing on in class if we make this rule for young people. This would be nice for bring up the creativity for those students. I think that's enough for me. So for the second speakers, take your time.
Okay, my name is Miranda Ponongoa as the second speaker. So here I want to tell about my argument about the single-sex school are good for education. So the single-sex school can be the ideal school for children. The public accept it in the 20th century, then it's been popular now because the parents study more about research and weigh the pros and cons. There are three reasons why you choose the single-sex school for your child. The first is limit social pressure. A few child rise at the single-sex school. That's because the law of social pressure. The child grow with their own quickness. It is good for the boys and girls because they grow up at a different tempo. The supporter of the single-sex school argue that the boys at the co-educational school don't take the art course or don't pursue the subjects to avoid the typography or nerdy. As well as the girls, they avoid the science and technology because they don't want to look like a tomboys. So the second is instill healthier competitiveness. The boys are being healthier competitiveness at the single-sex school because they don't have to worry about what the girls think. The boys that enjoy the pottery and play at the orchestra versus the marching band are something that only you get at a single-sex school. The girls feel confident in the sex school. That means they will be more active than the co-educational school. They will be healthier competitiveness and take the sport lesson without worry about anything. So the third is dispel gender stereotypes. If the teacher know about how to teach the boy or the girls, they can apply the special strategy and engage the class for the event. Sometimes the girl empowered to be a leader and the boys teach how to collaborate. At the right environment, the students will be comforted to explore the modern subjects, just like the math, science, computer, technology, and technique. And the boys will be participate at the art, humaniora, language, the choir, and orchestra at the single-sex school. The child will be active if you let your child to raise their ability. The single-sex school has a special way to pull the child to be confident, enthusiastic, and how to be their self. So this is enough for me. For the third speaker, please take your time.
Okay, thanks. I am Virginia Leona Peter de Jesus. I am third speaker. Okay, so let's talk about the single-sex school. Is good for education. Yeah, we know because they can help the boys and the girls rise up. The girls can confidently raise their hands and speak up without being made of fun. Then it will last the relationship between the girls and the boys which it will stop marriage and dating at the young age. It also will prevent sexual behavior. Teacher can teach subjects that will still foreign to the public, such as sex educational. when they think the students are mature enough to handle it. Girls learn faster than boys. We all know. In the co-educational schools, if the teacher keeps on repeating the same lessons over and over again just for the boys, then what is the point for the girls? Yeah, we know. Single-sex schools, students are more likely stay away from the risk behavior such as drinking, smoking, drugs, and odor. Therefore, the suggestion for special school regulation for only one gender is very important. So there is no need to worry if unwanted things happen, and children will be more comfortable with the same sex interaction as when we know from the many 75% of children in the world admit if they face each other with the opposite sex and it may happen then mentally and creatively suppressed so they cannot express themselves and well all understand that if it happens it will have a big influence on the psychological life of children at an early age, and it is difficult to be themselves or itself, so there is nothing wrong with making this rule because the world needs a generation who is mentally strong and good. This is my arguments. I will give back to my Prime Minister, Irfan Saputra Musa. Take your time. Thank you.
So the suggestion for special school regulation for only one gender is a very important. So there is no need to worry if unwanted things happen. So there are three reasons why you choose the single-sex school. First, limit school pressure. Second is instill healthier competitiveness. Third is a dispel gender stereotypes. So I think that's enough for our team. Thank you for the time.